Okay, so I'm going to talk you through a couple things today to get you started. Today you're going to start a project that we're going to be working on throughout this week. But before we get into logistics of what that looks like, it focuses a lot on taxonomy. So if you remember, we've worked with phylogeny and BLAST and comparing DNA sequences to find unknowns, kind of how do we classify organisms based on their DNA. Things like that. So with taxonomy, taxonomy is just a system of naming and organizing and classifying all these living things that we know to try to make sense of it. So when we look at all of life is split into three big categories called domains. So we have bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. And we can see there's a common ancestor. So this is, sometimes you'll hear it called LUCA, L-U-C-A, last universal common ancestor, but it's saying all life draws back to one. So three big groups, those big groups are called domains. We can then subdivide those domains into 6 kingdoms, and this is probably the level at which you're pretty familiar. So this is where we have animals, which are separate from fungus, which are separate from plants, and protists, and bacteria, and archaea. And so within these 6 kingdoms, it's divided really into 2 major groups. We have eukaryotes and we have prokaryotes. And just some reference over here, eukarya, those are cells with a nucleus. Prokaryotes, those are cells without a nucleus. So that's saying that the DNA itself is housed within its own separate organelle, which is our nucleus itself. So this is the level at which our project is going to focus on, and that's the kingdoms. However, we can get more specific. We can work all the way down to species. If you remember the phylogeny project, you identified your animal based on its genus and species names. So if we have all of life, we said they're split into 3 domains. Those 3 domains are split into 6 kingdoms. Kingdoms are then split into phyla, phyla into class, class into order, all the way down to get a species. Sometimes you will have a subspecies depending on the organism in which you're working. So you can also work backwards and say similar species make up a genus. Plural for genus is genre, so similar genre make up a family. Similar families make up an order, all the way up until we get back to our largest category, which is domain. So one question that I normally get is, how do you remember this order? This is, different terms you might not be familiar with. What's a way that you can remember that? So I have a song that may help you do just that. Enjoy.
KPCOFGS, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus. KPCOFGS, and that means kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species with a KPCOFGS. Tell me, where do we fit in since we think that we're the best, huh? KPCOFGS, that means kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. KPCOFGS, when you classify a man, is he different from the rest? Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus. Just look around you. Just look around you. KPCOFGS, what's a kingdom, what's a class, what's a family, can't you guess? KPCOFGS, if we're nothing more than animals, we're really nothing less. KPCOFGS, it's so nice to be a vertebrate with skeletons to dress. KPCOFGS, it's a trip to be a mammal when you drink from mama's breast. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus. KPCOFGS, as lord of all the primates, you could say that we've been blessed. On KPCOFGS, we're in a family with an 8 but all that's left a hairy chest. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Talk to kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Yeah. Just look around you. Just look around you. KPCOFGS, genus Homo makes us men, whether we're from east or west. Talk to KPCOFGS. Now, if we're the wisest species, then I think we should invest in our minds. In our brains. In our minds. In our brains. Because we're all thinking, yeah, we're bad. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family.
Okay, so there's some background for you. To get into what this project looks like, you want to go into Canvas and go into Modules. And in Modules, you want to find the Taxonomy module, and you'll see something that says Kingdoms of Life Project. Open that up. I'll just kind of talk through some of the logistics, things like that. So if we open up our document, okay, so this is what you will see. So if we just kind of go through this project, you will create a game showcasing the 6 kingdoms of life. Type is really up to you. So here's some ideas: board games, video games, card games. Think about what you like to play and think about, can you relate that to our kingdoms. So regardless of your format, there's some key information you want to include. First thing is all 6 kingdoms used to classify life. At least 2 phyla, so just a reminder that we want our kingdoms here. These are our kingdoms. We also want 2 phyla within each kingdom. So what are 2 groups that make up the animal kingdom, 2 groups that make up the plant kingdom, things like that. So within each kingdom there's some key things, and this is what separates plants from animals. This is what separates one kingdom from another. That includes what type of cell are we working with? Does it have a structure known as a cell wall? If so, what's it made of? Does it have a nucleus? Does it not? What does it eat? How does it move? How does it reproduce? What's its role in its ecosystem? That's our ecological importance. What role does it serve? Is it a top predator? Is it more of a prey animal? Like the other example, is it a decomposer? Where does it fit within its ecosystem? Where does it fit within the food web? Things like that. Common and scientific names of at least 5 organisms per kingdom. This is going to be easier. I'm sure you can name 5 animals and probably 5 plants, but maybe 5 archaea are a little bit more difficult. So some will be easier than others. Pictures of at least and at least 1 fun fact. Within your game, and when you get to actually making the game, you want to include a set of directions. As far as research goes, here's a link to a research guide just to help you organize your information, kind of answering those questions, including the pictures. There's just a table for each kingdom to help you with that. Make sure you're citing your sources MLA. You must have at least 1 source for each kingdom from Gale. So you're not exclusively, you can use only Gale, absolutely. You don't have to, just make sure your sites are credible, and you have to have at least 1 source per kingdom from Gale. Along with that, because I'm not here to help set up groups, this will be a live link. Just click on that and that will show you your groups that you'll be working with. So make sure you do that so you know who to team up with. And then I'm also going to add some more research information in here so you have access to that as well. So today a lot of it will probably just be some research, kind of getting a handle on terminology and some of this information that goes along to answer some of these questions. But you also want to start planning out your game. So you will have today and Friday to work on it. We'll see where we are, and then hopefully next week we can play some of these and see how you did. So email me with any questions. I'll try to get back to you, but otherwise that is the plan for today.